Welcome everyone to the new series that I call Down in the Doldrums, where I take a team who have been underperforming consistently and understand why that is happening and how we can fix it without them having to disband, unlike HLTV forums. Before we try to do that, I want to tell you guys a story. Don't worry, it's a small one. Alright, so I live in a small town in India where I have a 50 kbps internet connection and I watch tournaments in 360p. In this small town of mine, we used to have fairs and town gatherings. In those, there used to be small shops and some fun rides we could go and enjoy ourselves. But the main attraction was a chicken race. Several breeders would come with their chickens and they would make them race against each other. As a spectator, you could bet on them, cheer, whatever. So, back in 2019, I went to one of these gatherings with my father. And we were going to see the chicken race, obviously. When we reached near the camps of the teams, my dad saw something and was very surprised. I was like, "Dad, what happened?" He told me, "Look, Easy is here." I was like, "Yeah, what's so special about them?" He said, "You don't know? They used to participate in these races years ago. And they're very good. Suddenly they went missing 10 years ago. And I'm very surprised to see them back." I said to myself, "Alright, let's see how the chicken does." And they won that race. Okay, let's see some more. So I went to the next one. I was hyped to see them. Lo and behold, they won again. And I thought to myself, oh wow, that team's really good. Then shit hit the fan and there were no more fairs due to COVID. Until recently. Gatherings started again, but I didn't attend the early ones. Last week, I decided to go and see what was going on and how my favorite team EG were doing. I was shocked to see that half the crew was gone. The poster boy was on the other side, juggling. One guy went to compete in a race of water droplets, and everyone in the team was sad and crying. Not only they were not winning, they couldn't even get their chickens to start. Honestly, it was embarrassing. They also brought this guy from Poland, who everyone said was an excellent breeder, but nothing changed. They kept losing. It wouldn't be unfair to say EG's European run was abysmal. For a team that is expected to be at least the top 10 team in the world, can't be losing to Dignitas or Endpoint, let alone Pain Gaming. In the last few months, they have placed last or were only able to win one match in a bunch of tournaments. And it includes almost all of the tournaments they played in. FunSpark Ulti Finals, ESL Pro League, IM Katowice. It's funny because they beat Gambit 2-0 in their first match. And Gambit went on to win the entire thing. Snow Sweet Snow, where they were only able to beat Dignitas and then lost to EPG Family, who is now in Tropic. DreamHack Open January. And the recent RMR, that is CS Summit. Now, there can be many reasons as to why this is happening. One of the most apparent reasons in my opinion is Suck's performance. There's high likelihood that I am wrong. Maybe it's the IGL's fault for not putting the op in the right place. I don't know. But just by looking at numbers, you can see that the oppers from the top teams usually have a rating roughly between 1.05 and 1.2 in 2021. For example, Acor has a 1.07 rating, Sirsun, on who Big heavily rely on, has a 1.11 rating, Mantu has a 1.11 rating, Cadian has a 1.16 rating. Then there are players like Shiro, Simple and Jame who can carry the game with the op. Now of course there are outliers like Junior who has a 0.92 rating. But that's because Furia's style is stand and fight, which clearly doesn't fit Junior. He is also used to being a star back in Triumph. Now he's not the star. Furia does not play around him, and he doesn't get set up for kills as much. Anyway, so Suck's rating in 2021 is 0.98, which is far from his 1.13 back in 2019. We know that he can hit the crazy flicks, he can win the clutches, but he has become far too inconsistent. Combined with the fact that the best players in the world are mostly oppers, doesn't really help his case. He's basically the new Kenny's. Now, the second reason in my opinion is Stan. His rating in 2021 is 0.85. I don't personally want to hold IGL support players and hard entries against their HLTV rating, because it is obviously biased towards higher kill count. What these roles provide is yet to be quantified, and we as spectators don't know how to praise players for it. Having said that, 0.85 is still unacceptable. In a day and age where we have IGLs like BlameF and TabSir, you can't use that as an excuse. I can also say that his stats aren't working either, because his star players continue to underperform. Breezy, who has been in the top 20 players for 2 consecutive years, his rating has dropped significantly. If you can't get your star players comfortable, I don't know what you're doing. I also want to point out that the morale must be on an all-time low. The team is on a 5-match losing streak. In 2021, they have won only 19 maps out of 58, that is 33%. Also, everyone who has joined the team except Turbo is from a failed project. Zeus joined in April last year. He came from MIBR, which later disbanded. Mihu came in from Envy, a dumpster fire of a project. Mihu also seems like a quiet guy, so I'm not sure how much enthusiasm he brings into the team. Sure, Mihu has a lot to prove and has that fire within him, but can that rekindle the team? Not so sure about that. Don't get me wrong, Mihu is an amazing rifler, and I'm not pointing any fingers towards him. Now, I can think of a solution which might help the team right now. I think they should bring in Jonji and PTR in place of Stanislaw and Sir. Jonji has a rating of 1.19 and PTR has a rating of 1.17 in 2021. Both free agents. Now, you can say that I am biased because they are the most active on social media. Turns out they are the most active on the server as well. We know both of them can bring positive influence into the team. If you don't think so, go watch Tariq's YouTube channel and Chaos VoiceCom videos. Granted, it would take some time for them to settle into the tier 1 competition, but I am willing to give them that chance, rather than experience the continuous disappointments the current roster is delivering. Plus, this move will make for such a positive PR from the Counter-Strike community, who have longed to see players from the Chaos roster get signed. Both Bad News Bears and AG have finished last in the recent RMR, which means it wouldn't hurt to make roster changes now because you don't have a lot of points to begin with. Also, the upcoming RMRs give more points than the first one. At least the team would be invited for the close qualifier if not for the main event. So, in my opinion, a risk worth taking. If what I suggested happens, which I highly doubt, one bad thing might happen. Stanislaw will probably switch to Valorant, which means we'll have another tenured IGL leaving the scene, which will be detrimental for the new talent. We already have lost Steel. He also might join Tariq to form a new CS team. That might be a positive. Cirque, however, will have a place in the European scene. He's a fantastic player. He probably just needs a change in his surroundings to perform again. Who knows? Their next tournament is IM Summer and their first match will be against Spirit. I don't see any indications as to why EG will perform any better. Also, Spirit just went undefeated in the group stage of CIS RMR. Big oof for EG. Spirit defeated Gambit and Entropic, that is EPG family. EG can take down Spirit, not like this. Anyway, I hope they do good. Like and subscribe the video. Also comment if you have a different opinion or a different solution. Also, I will be making a video on viewer fatigue and scheduling problems. So subscribe if that topic interests you. See you soon. Goodbye.